That usually happened at night, not during fights or arguments, but in the quiet, during the day when I used to be alone at home, or at nights when the house had finally gone to sleep. I would lie there staring at the ceiling fan and my mind would begin its knitting. पहले एक थॉट आता था, what if it doesn't work out? अगर मैं फेल हो गई तो? What if I don't make it? अगर उसने मुझे छोड़ दिया तो? Then a second thread joined. I think this is the end. Nothing will ever change. मेरा पूरा फ्यूचर, scenes of grief, struggle, pain, मेरी आंखों के सामने सब आ जाता था. No happy scenes. I used to imagine that. Before I knew it, my mind had woven an entire future. मैं खुद को उसमें एक्सप्लेन कर रही होती थी लोगों को who were not even asking, me losing things and people that had not even left yet, me standing alone in the scenes that had never happened. And then my body used to react as if it was happening right in front of me. Breathlessness, panic, pain in the chest, heavy eyes. कुछ भी गलत हुआ नहीं था अभी तक. I was safe, the night was safe, but inside my head, I used to be already 10 steps ahead, tired, anxious. Yes, it was anxiety. My therapist confirmed. So what do I do? मैंने उसको पूछा. It starts very often when my husband steps out for work, when I am working, when I am watching something. Even then my mind starts racing. And the strangest part? My brain called it preparation, preparing for the worst. It said, I'm protecting you. But in reality, it was pain in advance. तब क्या किया मैंने? My therapist gave me some techniques to stay grounded in the present and how to deal with it, the panic attacks especially. And वो mostly techniques आपको गूगल पे या ऑनलाइन मिल जाएंगी. Those tools helped. They were good, they were very good. But what made real change was something else. It came with a lot of knowledge when I started looking for answers. It came with small mindset shifts on a daily basis. And it came when I started becoming aware of my thoughts. When I started paying attention to each time when my mind starts creating thoughts and imagine scenes, random stuff, people, situations that are not in reality right now causing any harm to me in the present. Welcome to the Breakthrough with Anchal, a space for real stories and practical tools to help you heal, grow, learn, and transform your life. In this episode, I'm going to share the exact tools जिन्होंने मुझे हेल्प करी to change from being an anxious person to being an happy, a grounded person all the time. And from the very real point of view, मैं अपने तरीके से जो देखती हूँ, I see anxiety as future based thinking. Correct. We imagine when we imagine things, but when we spiral into anxiety, we imagine a negative future only. Always. Right? उन चीज़ों को इमेजिन करना या उन चीज़ों के बारे में डरना घबराना जो कि अभी तक हुई ही नहीं है, ऐसे सीन्स हम अपने माइंड में क्रिएट करते हैं विच आर वर्स देन एक्चुअल रियलिटी, एंड देन आवर माइंड स्टार्ट्स लिविंग इन अ नेगेटिव फ्यूचर and eventually your body reacts with that thought, and that's bad. That's how anxiety works on you. So अगर आप अपना थॉट चेंज करेंगे तब आपका इमोशन चेंज होगा, जिससे कि आपकी बॉडी में जो रिएक्शंस होते हैं वो चेंज होगी, एंड दैट इज़ हाउ यू विल चेंज योर लाइफ, एंड दैट इज़ हाउ you can overcome anxiety. This is the exact way how I did it. I'm going to explain it in detail now. Just like how you choose food for your body. जैसे कि आप खाना चूज करते हैं, उसी तरह you must choose thoughts from the mind. Exactly what did I do? When I started searching beyond what my therapist advised, तब मुझे meditation and thought awareness के बारे में पता चला. That how can it heal? How it can also relieve anxiety and can even change your relationships. We'll share that in the next episode. कुछ लोग इसको ज्ञान बोलते हैं, कुछ लोग सोल कॉन्शियसनेस की तरह से इसको डिफाइन करते हैं, कुछ मेडिटेशन एक्सपीरियंस कहते हैं, सम कॉल इट द पावर ऑफ योर सबकॉन्शियस माइंड एंड बहुत ऐसे एथिस्ट नॉन बिलीवर्स भी हैं जिन्होंने ये एक्सपीरियंस किया है बट दे कांट गिव इट अ वर्ड or they just dismiss it as coincidences. How I did it is this: the first step. After reading up more about how our thoughts work and how they impact our body and also our realities, I decided to practice thought awareness on a daily basis. Step one was I had to be very cautious of the negative thoughts, the anxious thoughts I was having. जैसे ही वो थॉट्स आते थे, पहले आई यूज्ड टू ब्रिंग माई सेल्फ बैक टू द प्रेजेंट बाय starting to notice the things around me, focusing my attention on the things around me, or by rubbing my fingers against each other, bringing my sensations back to my body and the world around me. That was real. That this is my reality, this is what is happening in front of me or to me. मुझे पता है थॉट्स को यूं ही रोकना आसान नहीं है. So the method I used was replace one thought with another thought, a positive one. For example, instead of thinking I'm not doing well at work, मेरा appraisal शायद नहीं होगा, I would think I have given my best to work, I deserve the appraisal. I practiced to consciously tell myself. यहाँ practice बहुत ज़रूरी थी. ये एक दिन में नहीं हुआ. I had to be focused on the present when such thoughts appeared. After that, the next step was my breakthrough. When I started meditating, it was not easy. I stayed with just over 7 minutes a day. That was how I started. Just 7 minutes a daily practice, daily meditation practice. Not much. I want to mention here that it's not advised for someone facing anxiety or depression to meditate without any guidance. जिस किसी को भी इस तरह का मेंटल इशू है उनको बिना गाइडेंस के मेडिटेशन नहीं करना चाहिए बिकॉज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आपको ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट लगेगा टू calm down your thoughts, calm down yourself, and also it may happen that you further spiral down on negative thoughts. So I always advise this technique to do under supervision or therapist guidance, or learn to meditate properly with a certified teacher. So, coming back to my meditations, 7 minutes daily, but consistently. Gradually, I moved to longer durations of ध्यान. धीरे धीरे ध्यान लगता गया. And meanwhile, मैं और भी सर्च कर रही थी, पढ़ रही थी. I was learning more on thoughts to reality stories and the theories. When I found powerful visualization techniques that really helped. They helped me a lot in replacing all negative thoughts, fears, anxieties with positive growth led thoughts, happy thoughts. Then I reached a stage where I could sit and meditate for more than 40 minutes without the need to replace or control my thoughts. It used to just flow. I could now think positively. It was not an effort, it was a way of living for me. All of us who are dealing with anxiety or other mental health issues have faced this. We are unable to get off the treadmill of negative thoughts. And when I gained control, where I could control my thoughts, my negative thoughts with the positive ones, I could replace them. It was like a life transforming experience. Once you realize that you are the master of your mind, you can literally do anything. The first best thing that happened was I started saving a lot of my energy. ये तो आपने भी नोटिस किया होगा कि जब भी आप ज़्यादा सोचते हो या एंग्शियस रहते हो, you feel exhausted because overthinking consumes a lot of your energy. Next, I started getting very clear about my goals, my work, my personal relationships. सब क्रिस्टल क्लियर हो गया कि मुझे ये करना है एंड ये नहीं करना है. How and where I need to go, and where to draw my boundaries. These two changes themselves were big enough for me to help me move ahead and grow in life. Then anxious thoughts became history. Because once you can consciously see it in positive thoughts, it's like you're seeing a good present, happy future all the time. Then all that start becoming your reality. All fears, biases, anxieties go away. At least that's what happened to me. So I'm going to share the step by step process of it now. Tool number one, learn. All of us can help ourselves, at least all of us are healers for ourselves. We know what is best for us. लेकिन ये जानने के लिए थोड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ती है. I found my answers when I started looking for them. Neuroscience studies, spirituality, soul consciousness, all of these attracted me naturally. And then I started searching how does our mind functions, how does it affect our body and our reality if at all. And एक के बाद एक चीजें फिट होती गईं. From one course to another, from one book to another, from one podcast to another workshop. I did not stop. I'm still learning. The difference is that I am seeing very visible results now in my life and in myself. You need to choose your own path of learning because you know what draws you, what is best for you. Another tool is daily practice. Notice anxious thoughts without judging them, then gently replace them with stable thoughts. Like, I will handle it when it comes. I don't need to solve every problem today. Don't suppress your thoughts, just replace them with better ones. When you find yourself spiraling into anxiety, I wouldn't say do this during panic attacks, but when you're having anxious thoughts, bring your awareness back. Pause and ask, is this really happening right now or only in my mind? Most of the time, it's only in the mind. The next tool is shift from what if to what is. Anxious thoughts usually sound like, what if it doesn't happen? What if I fail? What if someone attacks me? What if they leave me? What if something goes wrong? What if people judge me? This drains a lot of your energy because you're fighting imaginary problems which are not there right now, and energy leaks before action is even needed. So that's why it's very critical to be aware of your present moment. Mentally, you can say to yourself right now, mentally, I am safe right now. This moment is okay. This instantly calms you down. The next tool, create a daily self talk ritual, an affirmation based ritual. Morning and night, practice a couple of minutes because the subconscious mind listens best in silence. Just before you sleep and right after waking up, or those few critical, so after waking up, immediately after waking up, 30 minutes are most critical because that is when your subconscious mind is active. And similarly, just before going to bed, I'm a peaceful soul. Sit quietly and say slowly, I'm a peaceful being. My mind is calm and powerful. I trust life. Say it with feelings and belief, not mechanically. What actually worked for me, in addition to these above tools, was also strengthening my spiritual identity, my consciousness. I did a few programs and learned meditation techniques, read a lot of literature on spirituality that gave me some perspective about how we are more than just ourselves, our body, our profession, our relationships, how we are much more than these. These are the tools that we are living our lives with. And that slowly removed my fear and anxiety when I saw the bigger picture and when I felt that I am guided and supported at every step by some higher power. Also, one important thing, being a content creator myself, and after having worked in communication and media professions for over 15 years, I have experienced one thing, a powerful trick which I want to share with all of you. Stop feeding the mind negative content, excess news, gossip, fear based conversations, constant problem discussions. These all overload your subconscious mind and normalize anxiety. Go on a mental diet. Reduce your exposure to disturbing information. Choose calming music, good entertainment, lighter content, or silence. Start the day without your phone or news for at least 30 minutes. First half an hour of your day, be without any exposure to the outside world. Try and connect with yourself through all of these techniques that I have explained above. Because your mind becomes what you repeatedly feed it. So here's your reflection prompt for today. Ask yourself what you are reacting to. Is that situation real right now? Or are you reacting in the anticipation of it? Do this with me if it is safe and you can close your eyes. Take a deep breath and ask yourself very softly, is anything actually wrong at this moment? Not tomorrow, not next week, not in the story that my mind is telling me. Just right now. If a thought comes, don't fight it. Let it pass like a cloud. Bring your attention back to your breath, in and out, and remind yourself silently, I don't need to solve my whole life today. This moment is enough. Take one more deep breath, and when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. You can do this whenever you feel anxious because the situation is not disturbing you, your interpretation of the situation is. तो जब भी एंजाइटी आपके मन में नेगेटिव कहानियां बुनने लगे, याद रखना ये सच नहीं है. पॉज एंड कम बैक. वो टाइम बस एक बार सांस लेने का है. अपनी कल्पना से, अपनी इमेजिनेशन से प्रेजेंट टाइम में, प्रेजेंट मोमेंट में वापस लौटने का है. एंड दैट पॉज, व्हेन यू पॉज एंड ब्रिंग योर अवेयरनेस बैक, becomes your breakthrough to change and transform your life. If this episode touched something inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with one person, someone whose mind also carries too much, who could use a moment of calm. Sometimes healing doesn't start with advice, it starts with being reminded that we are not alone. I'll see you next week with another story right from my heart and lots of tools to help you heal and grow in life. Till then, keep listening to The Breakthrough with Anchal.